If you're a doctor, you're familiar with the Hippocratic Oath, an oath that all doctors take that ensures they will do the utmost to protect their patient. The Hippocratic Oath includes doctor-patient confidentiality, do not harm, and always do the best for your patients. Hippocrates is the most famous doctor who ever lived. Now that's including Galen, Dr. House, and even Dr. Dre. But who was the father of medicine? Was he really that good? Or is he overrated? Let's find out in today's video. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be looking at Hippocrates and how he impacted medicine. From medical observations to using leeches on patients. Hippocrates' life is actually quite controversial. Please like and subscribe. Hippocrates was born around 460 BC on the Greek island of Kos. Little is known about his early life, but his father was said to have been a physician. Interestingly, it is believed that Hippocrates descends from the Greek god of healing, Asclepius. Obviously, this cannot be verified, but I for one believe it. I mean, why not? After studying under his father, Hippocrates moved to Egypt for a bit and continued learning his craft. Hippocrates then moved back to the island of Kos and began practicing a revolutionary and extremely controversial form of medicine. You see, before Hippocrates, pretty much everyone on the planet believed that if you became sick, it was either bad luck or you must have angered the gods somehow. Hippocrates came up with the groundbreaking idea that illness was created by natural causes and could therefore be remedied by medicines instead of prayer. Hippocrates separated medicine from superstition and established it as a profession based on observation and logic. Hippocrates and his students would study patients, taking notes of symptoms and seeing what happens if you try different natural medicines. Results were recorded, discussed, and if they worked, repeated, and if they weren't, well, discarded. This might seem obvious nowadays, but back then, what Hippocrates did was a breakthrough. However, the big man made some major errors. He introduced the idea that the body is made up of 4 humours: blood, pelgum, yellow bile, and black bile. If these humours were out of balance, you'd get sick. Now, this wasn't necessarily a terrible thing. It was wrong, dead wrong, don't get me wrong, but it was no more foolish than blaming Ares or Poseidon for why a person is sick. The problem is that Hippocrates was respected so much as a doctor, his opinions went uncontested. So as late as the 17th century, many doctors still believed in the 4 humours. Hippocrates' most famous contribution, however, was the Hippocratic Oath. This oath, still referenced by doctors today, emphasizes ethics in medicine, treating patients to the best of your ability and doing no harm. Well, that's definitely a good thing, right? Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Hippocrates probably didn't write this. In fact, most of the texts attributed to him were likely written by his followers in the Hippocratic Corpus, a collection of around 70 medical works. We don't even know if they were written while he was still alive. So, was Hippocrates really the ethical genius we celebrate, or was he just a good brand name? Along with Thomas Edison, he might have just had really good PR. Now, let's talk about his actual medical practices. Sure, Hippocrates made strides in observation and diagnosis, but let's not romanticize it too much. Ancient medicine was, well, a bit rough. One of the practices was bloodletting. Got a headache? Let's drain some blood. Yep, Hippocrates was known to use leeches to drain blood from his patients as he believed the humours were unbalanced. Now, you don't need to be a doctor to understand why this is a terrible idea. Herbal remedies. Hippocrates was known for using herbal remedies. Some worked, some didn't. Overall, unless you ingest poison ivy, herbs and spices are mostly good for you. And even if they didn't actually possess medicinal benefits, the placebo effect that patients could gain would definitely help out. Diet and exercise. This part was actually solid advice. Hippocrates believed a healthy lifestyle could prevent illness. Now, this is something a lot of modern doctors don't mention enough. Instead of promoting pharmaceutical remedies far too liberally, maybe they should promote diet and exercise. Prevention is better than a cure. Now, while some of his treatments were genius, such as observation of patients, a pragmatic approach to medicine, and the promotion of good diet and exercise, many of his treatments did not work or, like bloodletting, could be downright dangerous. The biggest issue with Hippocrates was that nobody, until Galen centuries later, would even dare to question his methods. This greatly hindered progress. But hey, is that really his fault? The best thing about Hippocrates was that he was open to the idea of being wrong, which meant if a modern doctor could sit down with him and explain why the four humors theory is wrong, he was the kind of guy to listen and admit that he was wrong. So, was Hippocrates the best doctor ever? Hippocrates is often credited with laying the foundation for Western medicine, and that's true to an extent, but let's not forget he wasn't working alone. Medicine in ancient Greece was a collective effort, and many of his ideas were borrowed or refined from earlier cultures, such as the Egyptians, who were ahead of Greeks medically at the time. Also, his four humor theory stuck around for far too long, well into the Middle Ages, holding back medical progress for centuries. Although that's not his fault entirely. Maybe question why everyone that you put leeches onto seems to be getting weaker. Despite the debates, Hippocrates' impact on medicine is undeniable. He shifted the focus from divine punishment to natural causes, setting the stage for scientific inquiry. The Hippocratic Oath, whether written by him or not, became a cornerstone of medical ethics because of the practices he either created or adopted. So, what do you think? Was Hippocrates the father of medicine or just the most famous name in ancient healthcare? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there, like and subscribe. Go on, do it. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.